Okay, hello y'all, welcome back to my channel, Queen Titi Loves. So today I need to, number one, do an unboxing so I can mail off the gift that someone won when they gave on Give Tuesday. And then obviously I need to do my hair, so I gotta do like 3 things at one time. Multitasking, whole nother level. But today we are going to talk about a few things, so let me see what I can do to my face. Definitely need to do my hair, and I need to unbox, but we're gonna get it in. Watch. Okay, so I think I'm gonna clean my face first. Let me clean my face first. So y'all know this is supposed to be, or about to be, the, what did I call it? Blurred truth. Okay, so blurred truth just means that it's simply my truth. So everything that I share with you will be my truths, my stories, my position on certain things, and then me sharing how I went through certain things in high school, which is a very interesting time for everybody because you think the world is going to end and everything that happens is a big deal, which it is. And a lot of those things I kind of didn't forget, so I still feel like they're a big deal, which is why the TT favorite, because I don't forget what it was like when I was going through certain things. And so I'm a little more understanding of my nieces and nephews, okay? So let me tell you, what we're going to talk about today is breakups. So when that sucker break up with you and break your whole entire heart and how you feel and the world is over and you're not going to recover. Now, I'm not going to put this on my lips because we know what that tastes like. Well, I know what that tastes like, and it tastes like danger on a stick. So that sucker break up with you, your whole life you feel like it's over. Oh my gosh, how am I going to go on? We were supposed to get married and live happily ever after. Girl, relax. Listen, you're going to have a lot of boyfriends. He's going to have a lot of girlfriends. And you're still going to live your best life and you're going to be okay, I promise. But in the moment, are you going to be okay? Probably not. You probably need all your friends to come over and y'all need to talk about it. And you need to check and see if the other girl is prettier than you. Y'all know we do that. You need to check and see if she's prettier than you, or what she did that you didn't do, or how much she weigh versus how much you weigh. You're going to check all that. That's normal. You're going to do that as an adult. It's normal, okay? So let me just tell you that, first of all, it's normal. So let me conceal my eyebrows. So yes, you are going to check for all of those things. All of that is completely normal. So when people tell you, you know, oh, get over it, it's just this or it's just that, it's not. It's a big deal to you, and that's what makes it a big deal. And yes, it hurts your feelings. It hurts your whole heart. You feel like everything is over. And guess what? That is over, and that's okay. You will be fine, I promise you. You will go on, I promise you. And then later on when he comes back, because they more than likely always come back, I'm just saying, it really does go that way, like from kids. So when he comes back, then guess what? You decide if you want to be with him or not. He don't get to call the shots at that point. And then that girl, that's when you lose your whole mind. I'm just saying. That's what's going to happen. You're going to lose your whole mind because you're thinking, how long can I get him to chase after me? Because he going to pay for making me feel like that. Completely normal. It's okay. Believe me, it is. You probably going to talk to his friends during that time. You know, you need to know what happened, where you went wrong, how you can fix it. And the answer is, girl, bye. That ain't your responsibility to fix it unless you did something, though. If you did something, you have to be willing to own up to what you did. But not so much so that you start begging that fool. And let me tell you why. Because girls, we are so emotional that a dude could have realistically been thinking about breaking up with you for a minute, especially around the holidays. Get a job, boy. And then you just find out about it and they flip the script and somehow you have ended up to be the villain, and you know, y'all could have been together if you would have just brushed your teeth before you washed your face. Yeah, it's like that. They crazy. So I say all that to say, you're going to go through all of those things, and it's okay. And it's okay to feel like that. It's okay to check and see what she looks like. It's okay to, I'm just sharpening my pencil, just a regular pencil, because I need to go fast, so I need to use what I'm used to. You're going to go through all of those things, and it's perfectly normal. It's nothing to be ashamed of or anything like that, but you are. Now, I do know some girls, I did not, I promise I didn't, that, you know, start playing games and doing mean things and reach out to the other girl because, you know, you trying to, I don't know, I guess scare her into not dating the boy. Girl, she gonna date that boy if she want to. And you do all of these things to grab his attention that result in you actually looking silly. So it's not even worth it. Don't do that type of stuff. Like, don't embarrass yourself. Don't, if he has a car, flatten his tires. Don't do the Beverly Hills Cop and put a banana in the tailpipe. And that is so hilarious. Yeah, don't do all that, baby. It's not that serious. You probably not even gonna want him by next year. So it's okay. Don't be doing all that. That's silly. And it could get your tail thrown in jail. Get you a couple fines. Because over a certain amount of damage is actually a felony. Okay? Don't do that. Don't go to the school and beat up the girl, even if he cheated on you. Don't do all of that, because, again, what's going to happen? You taking your tail to jail. Okay? And it's not worth it to be fighting over no boy. Do you want to? Yep. Do you want to punch him dead in his face? Yep. Do you sometimes want to punch the girl dead in her face? Absolutely. I mean, why not? She took your boyfriend. I mean, so what? She didn't know about you. None of that. None of that matters. What matters is you want to punch her dead in her face. Because that's reality. You want to do something to her to make her hurt in the way that you are hurting. So that is normal. To feel that way. Now, what is not normal is acting on it, because, boy, I could cut that clean, can't I? And I know y'all know my contacts is moving right now. What's not normal is actually going through with it, because all it does is the end result is it hurts you. The end result is that's your karma that you have to pay for. The end result is he probably won't want you after that, because you done beat up his new girlfriend, and the new boy that's looking at you like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for her to be available. Girl, he running away from you. His mama not gonna let him date you, because you done beat up the neighborhood trying to get to who Lil Bobby is dating. Leave that boy alone. But it's okay to go through those feelings and have those feelings. They're very normal. So if anybody tells you that they're not, even if you're a non-violent person, which I don't believe there are any real non-violent people. They're just people who don't act on it. You know, if something happens to you, I just believe there are people that don't act on it. But you'll feel all of those things, and that's normal. And especially for me, because I was fortunate to have pretty good relationships that were actually boyfriends. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with being plus size, but let's just face it, the standards for us looks different. I had people ask me how I got certain boyfriends. The things people ask you, because I was plus size. But I had really good boyfriends. I had good boyfriends that most of them I still talk to today, even though I'm married, because I have some good relationships. And if you are fortunate enough to have good relationships, cherish those too. But as a plus size, girl, I will also tell you, we have different standards. So extra don't embarrass yourself. I'm just saying, because everything we do for whatever reason is like on a 10. They point us out for everything that we do that somebody else would have normally done. Hold on. Oh, I can't see. Our standards are unfortunately different. And what I like about those standards, though, is that they make us better. Oh, is that a bump? Life. That's a bump, y'all. That means... is that a punishment for me retaining my youthful look? So, anywho, I was fortunate to have good boyfriends. So, like, the standards... my favorite boyfriend. Let me tell you why he's my favorite boyfriend. This guy. He's my favorite boyfriend because his standards for me was for me to be better. And by that, I mean, initially, for whatever reason, he thought I wasn't going to college. Eyebrows take the longest, I swear. I got 30 minutes and I really spent $27,000 on my eyebrows. Slap me. That means I need to move to my hair. Y'all thought it was going to be bad, huh? That's what it looks like, boys. When we take off our bonnet, it does not look like a whole shattered dream, okay? It doesn't. It just looks like hair. We just put it up to protect the hair underneath and take care of it, okay? So, anywho, he had really good expectations of me, and he pushed me to be better. So his thing for me was always, you know, you have to go to school. And one day I asked him, like, why do you think I'm not going to school? Why do you keep saying that? And he was like, because you're going to cosmetology school. And I was like, suck it, what does that have to do with going to college? Like, I'm doing this, I was 16. I'm like, I'm doing this, Lion King, yes, I know. I'm like, I'm doing this because I'm 16 and that's what I really like doing. And he was like, you know, I just think you're better than going to cosmetology. And that was a contributor to why I did not pursue doing hair in that way. I just utilized it to do it while I was in high school for extra money because I didn't want a conventional job, and to obviously be able to do what I'm doing now. Be able to do my hair if I can't make it to the salon or something like that, then I can still do my own hair. And so he always wanted me to do better, but what I liked about him is that he was also doing better. So we were from the same neighborhood, and he just wanted more for us. He told me that he could not date somebody that did not have a degree. Now, what I can say on the flip side is that wasn't a big deal for me because I always wanted a degree anyway. But if you are going to date somebody and they, you know, give you a stipulation like that, and it's not something that's in line with what you want to do, then you need to be comfortable with speaking up and saying what you want for your life, and you guys need to have that discussion. Communication is the key to everything, but a lot of women, they don't speak up for what they want, and it starts as young girls. You know, you don't say what you want because you're too afraid that he's not going to want to date you anymore. But guess what? That's not the person for you if they want something that is completely opposite than you, and that's a deal breaker for them. It's okay because you have deal breakers as well. And so there's nothing wrong with it, but I do find that in Jada Pinkett talked about it when she was on doing one of her Red Table Talks with T.I. and Tiny.
Okay, this is the thing. It's not about your voice, okay? Go out there and you get the voice and want it to be loud as you want it to be. However, you must know how to use that voice. Now, the fact that you may have muted yourself. No. You could have always said whatever it is you wanted to say, even if that led to me saying, well, you know what, this ain't for me. Then that is a decision that wait a minute, that is a decision and a sacrifice that a woman must be willing to make for that voice. Wait a minute, let me finish. I didn't interrupt you. Okay, I never told you you couldn't say. I told you I had my list of how I wanted things to go, and you said, okay.
She talked about how, well, actually, T.I. said it when they was on the show. They were talking about, you know, bouncing back from their breakup and things like that and what helped them survive and make that decision. So, in that, Tiny was talking about how she didn't really have a voice before, and then after some things happened, she found her voice in that relationship. And then she, you know, took charge of her voice. But Tip was saying, and he made a very good point, at no time did I ever tell you that you couldn't talk and tell me what you wanted. I simply expressed what I wanted and what was important to me for my family that I wanted to grow. And so she conformed to those things, but some of them weren't really what she wanted, or she just simply didn't have a discussion to discuss what was important to her. And as an end result, for many years, she sat there in silence, and so they broke up. They broke up because here's the thing: if you find your voice, for those of us that are older, and for my younger girls, this is why I'm telling you now. If you find your voice, it's almost like you just start moving differently, but your spouse or your partner or whatever doesn't understand, because it's not like you're going to have a talk with him. You're not going to have a talk and say, oh, hey, you know, this is what I noticed about myself, and now I want to move forward and have a voice. Because you have been a particular person for so long in a relationship, sometimes you just go ahead and go with the flow. And instead of having the communication and speaking up and saying, you know what, let's have a conversation, because some things have changed and I want to talk to you about it. And telling, you know, oh, you know, this is what I've discovered about myself. This is how I feel. This is how I feel it can work into our marriage or our relationship, or this is what I need now. Is that something that you can do? But either way, you have to sit down and talk about it. And a lot of women don't in that area, because you're still stuck on that. It's almost like at that point, you get an S on your chest or a W. I like Wonder Woman. And you become I am every woman, and you just start sneaking it in there like, well, if he want me, he gonna do this, and if he want me, he gonna do that.
We were a huge part of each other's lives. When I went to prison, I guess she felt like, well, now I have to figure out what I'm gonna do.
Right.
Because I don't have you here to continue the protocols and the practices that we have established in the fundamental stages of this relationship. So when I got back, the world was upside down. She kind of had an air like, it's my time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But did you discuss it with them? Or are you like punishing the guy or your partner because now you found your voice that they didn't even take from you? You took it from yourself. You took it from yourself, because like Tip said, at no time did I ever say you couldn't talk. I told you what I wanted for my family. And women are some women, again, guys, this is not all, but remember, we're talking to the younger girls so we could teach them how to prevent these things from happening and get in practices now that we have learned throughout growing up, because we didn't see much of anything when we grew up. Kids stayed in their place and that was it. But anywho, at no time did he tell her that he couldn't talk. So when he was saying, you know, this is what I want, she could have easily said, oh, okay, well, actually, this is what I want. And this is how I want to handle this situation. But she didn't do that. And so then as a result, what it looks like to the male is that you're like demasculating him. You don't respect him. You're mad at him. You know, those are some of the things that Tip was saying and how he feel. And actually how I've heard a couple of men say how they feel after a woman gains independence or something like that. But at every stage in your relationship, you have to talk when things change, because your partner is not a mind reader, nor are you. And so if needs change, you have to say something, especially if you don't want to break up. Because breaking up, let me tell you something, that is not the business. It's really, really not. And a lot of times when people look back on their breakups, it's all because somebody wasn't talking. Somebody wasn't saying what they needed. I'm cute on that side. So, oh no, I want to keep this over here. Somebody wasn't talking, which isn't the best for your relationship, and that leads to breakups. And as an adult, I will tell you that breaking up is even more scary, when you're married or you have, or you have kids or something like that, because it changes and impacts. Oh yeah, this is all over the place. This hair spray. Ow. It becomes a lot more difficult when you are older, because you have other things to consider. It will change your lifestyle sometimes, especially if you're like an at-home mom, or he's the breadwinner or she's the breadwinner. It changes your lifestyle. If you have kids, it impacts their lifestyle. It impacts family. It impacts a lot of different things. So really, it's just best to be honest up front, because a lot of people end up in relationships, even those of you having babies in high school, you end up in a whole relationship because you were doing too much too fast, trying to impress this boy, or pretend, live like you are grown and all these different things. And now you are having a baby. Now you are moving in with this dude and all of these different things, simply because you had a child and you went with whatever and you weren't communicating. And then you find out it's somebody that you didn't even really like, or you weren't compatible with, and you just accept it. You don't have to accept anything. I don't care how old you are. That's a communication conversation too, because relationships are a little bit like a business. It has to operate like a business. People have their place, meaning you have your strong attributes that you offer to a relationship that contribute to your household and your family. And if you want things to change or work out, if I or my partner thinks that my strength is one thing and it's something completely different, but I've been faking for a while, and it's actually something that I hate, or I could do it, but I really don't like to. Have those conversations. Something as small, let me give you an example. Something as small as my husband and I got married at a time in our lives where we are very, oh my gosh, we're so busy. So we see each other, but not really like I would like to, or like he would like to. But we have goals. We have goals and things that we want out of life. And a lot of those things transpired literally after we got engaged. So we communicated very well with what we wanted, what we thought we wanted. But guess what? Everything changed. Everything changed so fast. And Monkey's uncle. That's another clue. Everything changed so fast that it literally caused problems, because I wanted to see him, he wanted to see me. We don't have time. We each needed each other to understand. We don't have time, but we didn't even have the time to say, you know, the things that we need, because it was almost like when we would sit down to have an opportunity to talk with one another, we just wanted to have fun. We just wanted to talk and have a good time, not always talk about things that are so serious, because there wasn't that much, I'll say, like, fun time available. So that is something that we literally had to, one of us had to make a compromise. And so I did, because it's easier for me with working from home. So we made an arrangement to meet up somewhere. Yes, like we were dating. We had to meet up somewhere so that we could have more time. So we live by LA, but if he travels home, it's like 2 hours in traffic. If he travels home, if I go in that direction, I can get there in like 35 minutes. So it was easier for me to go there, and because he works by LAX. So it was easy for me to go there, and we had the 2 hours, or that's just an example. We had time to talk and then have some quality time together and put our phones down. So we were able to talk about like how our needs have changed because of the things that are going on, to make our family better in the long run. Because even as adults, you guys, if once you feel like you've made enough sacrifices, which sometimes I do, because I went to college and did all this stuff that they say you do the right way, and then like the pearly gates of everything will open. Not so much. Like I was tired of sacrificing. I really, really was. And so now that he is in his final stretch of school and everything, that's when it gets like the hardest. So he's in his final stretch. We're still considered newlyweds, and we have needs, but we had to recognize that there was something wrong, there was a disconnect, and then take the steps to fix it. But you want to know how that was able to happen, and how it was able to happen. Like, it was no big deal for me to talk to my husband and tell him what I wanted, like at all. But that's because that is the tone we set at the beginning. We literally talked about everything. Hold on. Woo! We literally talked about everything in the beginning. So, like, everything, like how we wanted our family, where we wanted to live, how far I was willing to relocate into the LA area, because I don't like the LA area. Don't kill me, y'all. I don't like it. It's too much for me, and I don't like attention. I don't like attention. I don't like being in the middle of the crowd, like that type of stuff. I don't like it. And so I don't want to live in LA, like at all. But that means that I won't be able to see my husband as much, because he might be staying out there some nights. But I'm okay with that, because we had a conversation and we just realized we need to allocate some of our budget to Airbnbs and hotel rooms and stuff like that, which works because I mean, I would try to walk on water for my husband, but it works because we have the budget for it. And so we're really, really blessed to have the money to spend on it. We're really, really blessed that right now in his home stretch that I work from home, so I could take all of this with me anywhere. that's why I've been trying to record differently. But I really like recording in my own area. Do I want to wear foundation, you guys? I don't really want to wear foundation. I don't want to. So, I am just going to fudge. I don't know. I don't want to. I'm just going to do my eyebrows. I mean, so I have to wear red because it's a Delta event. I have some Huda products. I got them. Or can you see it? Let's see. Boom. And I want to, this one is called Ruby. Let's try. Remember, I already put the stuff on my eyes. So let's try. Okay. You have to have like a vision. You have to look at the colors and be like focus like that. Okay. But yes, when you are in a relationship with somebody that you started a good communication platform, behavior, whatever that, however you want to say it, if you started by communicating really well, then it should continue that way. Okay, so let's take this into high school terms. Okay, so I shared my personal life and how communication impacts my today. So let me tell you how it impacted my yesteryears. Yesteryears. Okay, y'all, so everything I say like I said yesterday morning the other day, that's our stuff. That's the butterfly stuff. So if we see anybody else doing it, we can say, oh, you're welcome. We contributed to your life. So anywho, it's pretty. So we have, in high school, you know, you have ROP. So while I was in ROP, remember I had the boyfriend who said that he really couldn't date me unless I was going to college, because for some reason he thought I wasn't. Okay, this same boyfriend was in high school, was in college. I'm going to use my crayon brush. Was in college to be a doctor at the time. A doctor. So he went to school in LA, and I was in the good old P. I was in Pomona, and I was going to school at night. So with our relationship, we saw each other during holiday breaks, of course, and then on the weekends. He worked at a nearby hospital, so he would come down and stay at his mom's house on the weekends, and so on the weekends I would be able to see him. But the communication thing, not being able to see each other. So when I started cosmetology, it changed that, because I wanted to finish fast, so that I could be a cheerleader my senior year. I went a lot, and so some Saturdays I would go, and like at first I really didn't think about it. I just like signed up to go on Saturdays, but then like he had a issue with that. So he tells me like, oh, you signed up for this, but you didn't even think about me. And I was like, thinking to myself, like, what are you talking about? I did think about you. That's why I'm trying to go faster and like get it done. And he was like, you know, no, my expectation is that, yes, expectation, y'all. My expectation is like that I am able to see you on Saturdays. I come down here and this is what I like and this is what I like. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, that's not a problem, except, you know, sometimes you get stuck in the hospital, and so that means I won't get to see you, and then, or until later, and then I will be thinking, hell, I could have just went to school. Instead of, like, I feel like it was wasted time, y'all. I don't like to idle time, hence me doing 67 things, even right now at one time. And so we talked about it, and within the hospitals, like there are certain times when he would have to stay because he worked in the emergency room at that time. And so like obviously if something like that happened where they needed a lot of people on hand, he would have to stay. No control over that. Understanding girlfriend, no common sense, he has to stay. But I made a compromise. I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, I get it. But I'm trying to finish faster, so this is what we can do. And so I told him, you know, what the plan was, and we talked about it. The biggest thing about that is that we talked about it. Like, he didn't get to just tell me what he wanted me to do, and then I do it. But at the same time, I had to consider him because I'm dating him. I have to consider him so that I can keep our relationship healthy. On the reverse, you want to know what could have happened? What could have happened is what happens in most relationships these days. Everybody thinks that everything is like all about them. So they start feeling like the other person should have known. Well, they should have known I was going to miss them, or you can't change this because I like it this way. Listen up, Playboy. I need to use my raw sauce. Yes, this is what I'm looking for. Come through, colors. Whoop, whoop. Okay, I'm using Sweetheart on my inner lid. And I'm using a really small paintbrush because I need to plant this where I want it. So anyway, we talked about it, and that's what worked for us. And so I did not continue to go every Saturday, but I went one Saturday a month, and then I talked to my instructor to see if I could do half days, because on Saturday you could only do 8 hours or nothing at all. Check this out, player. I need some help. I need to live my life. And it worked out. But again, if you're not willing to have those conversations, don't be in a relationship. If you want to know what a relationship really looks like, even when you're young, it looks exactly like it does when you old. Older. I mean, we're not old, y'all. It looks exactly the same. So, with that being said, that's really pretty. I think I need a little more on top, though. With that being said, the point that you are supposed to get from this is that, number one, breakups are going to hurt. That's number one. And you are quite possibly going to think about flattening tires, beating up new girlfriends, that type of thing. It's going to happen, but you're not going to do it because you're going to look silly in doing so. And you don't let nobody play with your emotions. And if you are dating someone and they have expectations of what they want the relationship to look like, and you want it to look completely different, you better open your mouth. You better open your mouth and say something. Because if you don't, do you want to be like Tiny? No, you don't. Because she actually, very strong woman. She had a voice. She just lost it a little bit in trying to be everything that he needed. She forgot to consider what she would need. Y'all, these colors are pretty. See? They're really pretty. But I'm needing to get this, plant this red a little bit better so it don't look pink. Not tonight. But you don't want to be like that. You want to be someone who has a voice. You want to be some equal contributor in any relationship that you are in. Friendship, boyfriend, husband, whatever that is, but you have to practice it early. So don't get in the practice of doing things because it's better for somebody else. Do what is best for you, because in the end, that is the person that you are responsible for nurturing, caring about, considering. Oh, that's better. All that good stuff. You are responsible to be that person. And if you can't do it, how are you looking at somebody else to do it? That's your responsibility. And don't do dumb stuff either. And what I mean by dumb stuff is the beating up the girl or something like that. Don't do that. But what I can tell you that's not dumb is how you're going to feel. That's not dumb. The things you're going to think about. If you're plus size, you're going to be thinking, I'm too fat. And that's why this happened. If you're not plus size and he moves on to date a girl that's plus size, you're going to order a pizza. Because you're going to try to get plus size. But all of those things are normal. We do them. I've thought about doing some pretty amazing things. Y'all ever seen like Looney Tunes, Warner Brother cartoons, and like they drop the weight and it, or the, I can't think of what it's called, but that big old huge weight, and it falls on like the coyote, and but it doesn't kill him. Yeah, those kind of things go through your head. They do. You think about, oh, I hope they break up and are never happy again. You roll your eyes. Don't be the crier, okay? Don't be the one that cries and at school. And what I mean by that, you can cry if your feelings is hurt. Do it in private, though. Don't be the one that cries at lunchtime every day so everybody can ask that person, what's wrong? What's wrong? We talked about those kind of people because it's very clear you're doing it for attention. You found out last night and then all of a sudden you only want to cry when they're there. And hold your head up and be strong. It's not the end of the world. I promise it's not. Hold your head up. So when you see him walking by with the new girl, I'm telling you, that's why you better turn on your inner waiting to excel. No fire. I mean, like when she walked away from the fire and she looked all strong and she was doing her thing, be that girl. But don't set a fire. Don't set a fire. Fires are not good. I've had 2 house fires. They're not good. And you gonna go to jail. Don't do none of that crazy stuff. All these kids doing crazy stuff because they couldn't get what they want. Don't do it. Don't do it, Miss Sophia. But this part, because I'm about to end this unboxing. Y'all, I don't want to wear no lipstick. I got a lot of I don't want us today, huh? I know. I love makeup, but I love makeup like this. And then I'll put on like a little blush and a little highlighter. But lip gloss speaks to me. I'll probably put on some lipstick because and this is my Tokyo drip. As a matter of fact, I will. Let's see. Let's do Murder Matte. But alright, this I'm about to cuss. Oh, lips are peeling. So, okay. That was a funny face. To my plus size girls. Let's see what this looks like. Let me tell you something. Don't you walk around listening to these dumbass memes as it relates to dating and acting like letting people treat you like you lucky today because you plus size. Girl, bye. Didn't I just tell you I was dating somebody who wasn't even in high school and going to be a doctor? And the only reason we didn't make it is because I messed up. It was my fault. I made a dumb decision. I made a silly decision. So my senior year, he couldn't come to my games and stuff like that, and I was a cheerleader, and I'm like, I want my boyfriend here. And this other guy started liking me, and I was like, all right, I'll just date this other guy. Needless to say, that didn't end well. But I believe God does all things on purpose. And so that's how I ended up with my husband. And I love he. I do. I love he. Do you want a little blush or a little highlighter? Let's use this one from On a Roll. Don't be walking around acting like it's something wrong with you, or you have to do extra to date somebody because you are plus size. Girl, don't play. Don't play at all. You know, I don't want to give my opinion on that stuff is on Lizzo or anything like that, but what I will say is that her confidence with her body, that's good, because if you don't like something, you can change it, but until you change it or it gets the way you want it to be or whatever, you still need to be absolutely in love with yourself. And you never let anybody, my mom always taught me, you never let anybody else make you feel bad about yourself. Like, whatever you don't like and you want to change it, by all means, please change it, so that you can feel better about yourself. But until you change it, what are you supposed to do? Walk around not liking yourself, or letting some boy treat you any kind of way, or letting anybody treat you any kind of way? If you are going to date, you need to know who you are. And that goes back to the communication thing. You need to know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, and by that at least know that you have value. Everybody has value. That you have value from the jump. You offer something to that relationship, and you are valuable. Don't be walking around here like because you plus size, you lucky, or you got to fly under the radar, or you got to do extra, or you got to do anything other than be yourself. Because being yourself is what makes people notice you. You will probably get more of your attention, your authentic attention, will come from when you go to the daggone gas station to pump your gas, and you really just stepped out to get it the night before, so you didn't have to stop in the morning, or you on your way from the gym, or you just need to run to the store and get something. Yeah, that's where most of your attention is going to come from. And it don't matter if you have on a wedding ring or not. They be like, hey girl, and you're gonna be like, hey boy, like that. But you need to be confident, and we're gonna have a whole nother session on being confident that I want just for my plus size girls. I'm gonna share some of the stories that I experienced, which, y'all, I can't even tell y'all how. I don't know how, because my confidence, it was not good. It was not good, but I didn't allow others to treat me bad for my confidence not being good, but it wasn't good at all. And I don't have some of the same stories that other people face with being plus size, like being teased or anything like that, but I do definitely have my insecurities that came from being, that came from being plus size, that I had to work out on my own. So yes, they are real. Yes, they do exist. Yes, you can get through them. And I'm going to tell you how, because my husband is a whole snack, and he's younger than me, and it's not my only proposal, it's not my only relationship, but the last thing I'm going to do is let somebody make me feel bad, or not say what I need to say in a relationship, because, oh girl, you better, you know he's on the football team, you got to do what he wants you to do. Girl, bye. Or you know, he such and such is trying to get at him while y'all talking, so you got to up and, you know, do what she's doing so you can keep up. she'd been doing what she was doing for a long time and he wasn't paying attention. Clearly, because her fast tail need to sit down. So don't ever stop doing what you're doing. That's what's making people like seek you out. They see what you're doing. I love my shirt. I think you guys have seen it before. Yes, I think you guys have seen it before. I love it. I was going to wear my white one. I have another one, but I decided not to because I'm doing makeup and rushing, so I didn't want to like do all of that. And I literally have like 10 minutes. So let me cut off this curling iron now so I don't kill myself. Burn down the house. Okay, so, oh, this is a perfect bag that I'm opening. So I'm opening this because, remember, I have to take the thing to my SAR who won it. And so, I bought these for the Divine Purpose. So these are coming from Queen Titi. I'm donating them to the Divine Purpose side of my business for people that are in the program. So, and I got a certain number of them. I also got, this is the fruits for the person who won, so I need to set that to the side. I bought myself another fruits because Super was like clearing out stuff and it was going on, it was a big old sale. So I had these before, plus you know my stash over there, and then now I have a new fruits, so I'm putting it right here. And then for the people in the program, I ordered a couple of fruits. Go visit her website to see what the color actually looks like. I've worn it in my last video, I believe. I have pictures up on my page with that color on. And then pecan poppin'. And then more pecan poppin'. And then I ordered sponges to go in the kits. I ordered brushes to go in the kits for the girls. I ordered myself some lashes. So I have crayon case lashes, and then I have lashes from another brand that I will be representing, and I will do a whole thing on just practicing lashes soon. I'm not giving any dates anymore because things happen and then I can't do it. And then I got Private Party, and this is all for the program, and this is one of 3 orders that I made on Cyber Monday. And then matte books. And so I ended up placing another order because she is Super from Crayon Case ended up saying that she's going to discontinue some of the things and have new things like for the new year or whatever. And because I knew that I want to have some of these things for the girls in the program, then I went ahead and ordered them. So box of crayons is one of them that I ordered for the program. So I can't even close this box back. I don't even know how they had it closed, but I'll sit this right here. Okay, so that is it for today. Thank you for staying with me while I got ready and listened to my stories about I'm just saying, that unfiltered truth. It happens. And those are the things that I'm going to talk about for my Saturday episode, so you guys can hear that adults have real problems and we didn't forget what y'all go through. And I would love to have some of my nieces and nephews on, but I don't think they're going to tell me because they think I'm going to be angry. But I'm not going to be angry. And I don't mean angry with them. They probably think I'm going to be like, call him on the phone or call her on the phone. I'm not going to be in the relationship. But anywho, thank you so much for being one of my butterflies. If you are subscribed, if you're not, please like, comment, and subscribe right now. Check the bell wherever I put it. Check subscribe. You know, do all of those things. And then share this video with others. And thank you so much. I will see you on my next episode. And I'm out.